All right. Welcome back to Cook It and Eat It here on Jim Johnston Reviews the World. And today I want to show you how to easily go from Marchan, instant lunch, or a cup of noodle, whatever you call it, even a ramen brick. I want to show you how to easily go from this to delicious, wonderful chicken pad thai, just as easy as that. Try to say it's almost like magic. Now you need just a few simple ingredients, no special hardware per se, and just about 20 minutes of time to go from everything in the freezer to a hot delicious meal on your table ready to eat. Come with me now as we make instant lunch pad thai. Now, if you are anything like me, you might have recently, due to unmentioned world events, decided to buy yourself some of these types of silly things. You definitely shouldn't be eating in its natural form, but you bought them because you might have had some concerns that food supplies, your ability to go out, things of that nature, might run a little low, so you thought, let me get something to have around just in case times get a little lean. Well, my waist is saying times, they're not as lean, and we should all be thankful for that. What we're really going to do today, folks, we're going to take one of these Maruchan instant lunches and we're going to turn it into a single pot, delicious, wonderful chicken pad thai. Alright, our pad thai today is as easy and simple as pad thai can possibly be. We're going to start out with our skillet. This is a medium carbon steel skillet, so essentially this is a small wok. So our whole meal is going to be prepared, served, eat, everything out of this one skillet for ease. So this is a one-person meal. Now you can always split this in half and have some egg rolls or some dumplings, something like that. But just for me, for dinner, one meal, and it's going to come out to about 850 calories, which isn't great, but it's not terrible either. Now because we are cooking, basically we're wok frying today. I'm going to put the spurs to our pan. We got a little bit of oil in here. This is a grapeseed oil, very high smoke temp. We want things nice and hot. Once we get cooking, we're going to want to have things moving along very quickly. So before we start actually cooking, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. So for this, we have our Maruchan instant lunch. We have one previously frozen chicken breast. We've got one bag of stir-fry blend, 16 ounces. We have a quarter cup of diced onions, a third cup green pepper diced, and a third cup of sweet corn. Alright, you see your pan here, we're ready to rock and roll. So we're going to add our veggies, and then we'll talk to you about the seasonings. Woo. Hot! Here goes our onion, pepper, corn. Again, that was a quarter cup onion, third cup corn, third cup pepper. This one's off. I want to give this our first stir. I really like this mixed vegetable fried blend I picked up at Dollar Tree for $1. Nice cheap meal. But these carrot slices those are in big chunks, so after this cooks and thaws out the rest of the way, we're going to go in with a knife and break them down a little bit. But we're just going to let this chill out. Nice and high, nice and hot. Get rid of that water and start getting those vegetables softened up. Alright, while that's cooking, I want to talk to you about our seasoning blend and our sauce blend. This is a quarter teaspoon Southwest seasoning, quarter teaspoon ginger, quarter teaspoon chili pepper, as well as a half teaspoon black pepper, a whole teaspoon garlic, whole teaspoon Italian seasoning for the rosemary and thyme mostly, half teaspoon ground cumin, teaspoon cilantro leaves, and at your flavor profile desire, a half teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of basil leaves. So I probably have a healthy half teaspoon. And then we have our sauce. Normally this sauce I make in the pan as things are cooking, but for ease of the channel here, I have pre-made it. This is 6 drops of liquid smoke, a teaspoon of lemon juice, a teaspoon and a half of steak sauce, a full teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. Now that steak sauce and that Worcestershire sauce, that's what we're pretty much using in place of going out and buying a fancy fish sauce, as most recipes online would call for. So that's kind of taking up most of that flavor profile, at least good enough for this. I'm gonna have a whole teaspoon, to your taste bud preference, of hot sauce. Sriracha would be better. This is standard today. And then we're gonna have about a teaspoon and a half low sodium soy sauce. All mixed together, that makes our sauce. And then the last thing will be, we're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of peanut butter to the pan while we're cooking. And then we will garnish when we're done with some of our everything bagel seasoning, which should just as easily be some toasted sesame seed, a little bit of chopped chive, and a single packet, which I believe is about a teaspoon and a half of sweet and sour sauce from a Chinese restaurant. We're gonna let this cook. I'm gonna go ahead and break these carrots down, and we'll be right back to continue. Okay, I went ahead and I broke those carrots down to something to be a little easier to manage when we're eating. And at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle in that seasoning blend. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna open up my instant lunch. And what you wanna do when you open this up, go ahead and take any of the little veggies and drop those into your liquid, anything that easily falls out. Go to your garbage can, crack the styrofoam open down the side, and then over your garbage can, go ahead and get rid of any of this seasoning, as much of this seasoning as you can without breaking everything up, but just kind of tap it and shake it and let that fall into your garbage can, get rid of that extra sodium and crap. Alright, I went ahead and stirred in those seasonings. I'm keeping a look on it. Now, one of the good things, for this recipe, one of the good things about these stir-fry blend from the dollar store is that they have a lot of water in it, but we need some moisture here. Now here's our puck of cup of noodle, in case you've never seen inside one. That's what the inside of the cup of noodle looks like. And again, I got rid of as much of that as I could. Vegetables look like they are done to a point, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add this puck in. And I want to break it up just a bit, not a ton, but a bit. There we go, that'll do. Get that down in there. Now in reality, I probably only got rid of 25 to 30% of that seasoning that was on there. But any little bit, because I'd rather use the sodium from my hot sauce, Worcestershire sauce, soy sauce, things like that. For this version of pad thai. This is a simpler version than going to the store and doing all the stuff you see online. Alright, I'm going to give this a toss. So this is kind of what your noodles start to look like pretty quickly. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and turn this down, because we got rid of all that extra moisture that we didn't want from the veggies, and the noodles have started to soak it up. Alright, things move quickly when you're stir frying. I'm going to add in, now at this point, equivalency of 1 tablespoon of chicken broth. I make chicken broth ice cubes so that I can get a longer shelf life out of my broth and be able to easily dose it out when I'm cooking. I'm going to add in my chicken breast. Again, this is one whole roasted chicken breast. Any type of chicken breast or chicken meat, I'd say probably at least 6 ounces worth. You don't even need to use chicken. You can use shrimp in here or whatever you like. So we got that chicken incorporated. Guess what, folks? It's peanut butter jelly time. Actually, it's just peanut butter time. So you want to give this about 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. Me being a peanut butter junkie, I'm just going to eyeball it. And this is a honey peanut butter, which goes very nicely with the honey barbecue sauce that's in the other sauce. Alright, we got our peanut butter in. So now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to quick drizzle in our sauce. Want a lot of that over the middle, around the side, home again. And then just toss from the outside in so we can get that peanut butter incorporated without making a mess. There we have it, folks. Finished pad thai. Kill the heat. Once everything's incorporated, chicken was already warmed through, sauce is perfect. Noodles are that instant noodle. It's pretty instant when you cook it this way. You can garnish with a little bit of chopped chives, some of our everything bagel seasoning. You could use some toasted seeds, sesame seeds, whatever, or just leave it. And then we're going to top it with our packet of Chinese restaurant soy sauce, which I find just gives it a nice finish to the flavor profile. There you have it, folks. From lame, boring, overtly simple cup of soup instant lunch, whatever you want to call it, to delicious, near gourmet, near Chinese restaurant pad thai. If you start out, you take your vegetables out of the freezer, they'll start to thaw out while you cut up your chicken breast, do all your other prep work. You probably have maybe 10 minutes of prep work and less than 10 minutes of cook time. Now we're ready to eat, but I'm gonna let this cool off just a minute before I taste it. Here we go, it's eating time. I went ahead and let this cool off for a few minutes, and honestly folks, this is my serving suggestion for this meal. Put it on a little hot pad, grab you a fork, and eat away. Now let's see how she tastes. Smells wonderful. Smells absolutely wonderful. Just enough peanut coming through. Wow. That's just about as good as restaurant. And I bet you this cost well under $5 to make. Probably cost you at least 10, if not 15 to 20 bucks to get a big plate of pad thai like this out at a good Chinese restaurant. No point in saying fancy, most of those fancy places. My expertise, the hole-in-the-wall Chinese food joints are the best. If you're ever in Charleston, Illinois, there's a place called Thai Garden. Eat there. You'll be very happy. Yeah, it's delicious. Even with the cup of noodle and the soy sauce, it's not too salty. Sodium level's right about right. It's just wonderful, people. Delicious. I know I say this about everything I make, but hey, I make good food. And on that note, I want to thank you for tuning in to Cook It and Eat It here on my channel today. And if you like my stuff, please like below, also comment, and share this with your friends and family to help me grow the world. And this is another one of those recipes, folks. If you try it out, please let me know what you think of it. Before we go for the day, I just want to remind everybody, from me to you at home, be weird, be free, and most importantly, be independent.